Here we go. Hey, everybody. This is Andrew with MMA Sucker. With us, we have Andreas Dre Murray, who will be taking on Lee Gaudet, I believe, for the Throne MMA Super Lightweight Championship, May 18th at the Alerus Center in Grand Forks, North Dakota. Tickets are available for the show. And I think it'll be on pay-per-view. Is it going to be on pay-per-view,
Yeah,
Dre?
yeah, they have a pay-per-view link that's going to be up on my site here.
Yeah, thank you so much for doing this interview. I really appreciate it, man.
Of course, buddy.
Just for also for transparency, I do train with Dre at Progressive MMA just to keep that transparent. So, um, yeah. So Dre, I guess for people that may not be familiar with you, tell us how did you get started in MMA?
I've always had a thing for violence, I guess if you want to put it, fights at school, growing up watching wrestling, WWE, and then also when Ultimate Fighter first came out, that was what everyone was watching. That was what I was interested in. I tell everyone I've always wanted the title of the world's most dangerous man. Kim Shamrock had that. So
Mm-hmm.
he was kind of a big influence on it. And then he also went over to the UFC and kind of stuck, always liking it. I wrestled a little bit in high school. So, I liked a little bit of combat sports here and there. It didn't happen until way later in my life, I guess. I was actually working in a restaurant, and there was a couple of guys that had a fight coming up, and they just asked me if I wanted to partake. So I said, yeah. I think I had about a month before the fight popped up, and this is just me thinking, I'm Billy Badass from Chicago. I could throw some fist here and there. Um, yeah, I got smoked pretty hard on that one. So, but it
Mm.
just fueled my anger, and it made me want to get better at fighting and learn more ground because it was a wrestler that actually beat me. So that's when I took up jujitsu and I started taking it more serious. So
Should we give the name of the infamous first opponent? He's a little bit he's on a big platform, kind of
that was
recently.
that was not my first amateur fight. That was
Oh, I thought you
my
were talking about your first pro fight. Sorry.
no, that's how I got into it. Yeah, my first pro fight was against Logan Storley. He was already like 5-4-0 or 5-0, and this was my debut. And I had like he had, I should say, like Robbie Lawler in his corner, not Tony Huff, Henry Huff, who's like one of my favorite all-time coaches. And needless to say, I was starstruck, and I got pretty smoked in that one too. So both my starts in amateur and pro started off with losses. So
So actually, if you don't mind me asking, I've always wondered when MMA fighters, if when they face somebody who's, I guess, already established, already famous. But I wonder, like, does that actually happen? You got kind of starstruck that was Logan Storley in the corner that he had.
I didn't even know who Logan Storley was. I only know who his corner was. I've
Oh,
heard
okay.
of him. Once I did research on him, like I didn't. That's when I found out who he was, like this big time wrestler. But yeah, it was mostly his corner, and this was a big. This was for LFA. This was like a big show, the biggest show I've ever been in at the time. So it was a little overwhelming. I still feel like I was ready, but I wasn't quite where I needed to be to win the fight. So he was obviously had more experience than me. Um, and he came prepared, obviously.
Hmm. So I got to also ask, I'm always interested in nicknames. How'd you get the name Dre, or I guess Dre Day as well?
Well, my name's Andres, so everyone used to call me Dre as a kid. Dre Day is just something I kind of picked up. Everyone always asks me, how you doing today or what's going on, and I tell them it's just another Dre Day. It's kind of like a positive thing for me. That nickname actually didn't pick up until like about a year or two. So I have like 20 fights under my belt, and that one just started coming into play. That nickname there, so I just makes it easier. It's home. It's what everyone knows me as. So I might as well keep it, right?
No, I thought there was a Dr. Dre connection potentially in there.
Not quite, not quite.
So let's talk about your fight with Throne MMA for the super lightweight championship, which is 165 pound title. You know, that one of those rare promotions that does have a 165-pound division. Um,
Yeah,
what do you think about that 165-pound division? Because I've heard MMA fighters kind of like say we kind of need, you know, was it between 170, 185, like something like, you know, a 195-pound division or even a 165. What do you think about that?
I like the concept of like the fives, like 35, 45, 55, 65, and then maybe not do a 75, maybe stick with the 85 and then go up to 205. I like that concept, but like even my opponent now, like he's cutting down to 65, and I'm only like a walk around about 10 pounds away from that. So he's gonna be a little bit heavier, but it's like less strain on my body for the weight cut. They're a little bit bigger guys, but I think where I'm at now in my stage of my career and my just now 10 years later feel like I'm really grasping the concept of fighting and how to do things right. I feel like now it doesn't matter any side advantage. Plus, you know how we train over at PMA, baby. It doesn't matter size. Whatever you're matched up with the biggest dude and you're still just gonna do what you can, right? So but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I like the 65 on the fact that I don't have to cut down. So
Gotcha, gotcha. And so tell us, do you know anything about your opponent, Lee Gaudet?
um I know I actually met him at my last fight. He was cornering another guy that from Winnipeg that was fighting. Cool dude. I know he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. He comes from a really good school out there in Winnipeg. Um, I guess he used to kickbox a little. Other than that, I don't know much. He used to fight 55. Now he's a 170 pounder. So
He's a
that's
tall
about all I
guy.
know.
He's a pretty tall guy for 155. I'm surprised he was actually 155.
Yeah, I think he's only 6 foot, right? That's not too
I
tall.
I, I have it at 6'1", but you know, maybe they added an inch or something.
Maybe,
Um,
maybe.
so the MMA scene in the Midwest is very interesting. It's a very small thing, like you said. You've already run into him, and I know that you and Justin Lickness, you already fought twice, and you've run into each other like at other shows. What is it kind of like that's kind of so small, and is that good? Is that better? Is that, I don't know. What do you think about the just that that being so insulated out here?
I kind of like it. I mean, I do travel for a lot of my fights. I've driven to Iowa, Nebraska, Wisconsin, and then a lot in Minnesota here. You get a lot of connections. I can go to just about any gym around here, and it's all love and respect. So I kind of like that homey feeling, and everyone I've ever fought, with the exception of maybe one or two for no particular reason, but I'm like friended on Facebook with, and I've tried to either read like train with them after a fight or let them come train with me after a fight. So like I like the camaraderie that the MMA community has, and since this is such a compact area with it, you kind of know everybody, and you get a lot more training and a lot more advice from different fighters. So I really like it.
So you're not one of those people who, you see red everywhere and everybody is a target type. That's not you?
No, no. If you ever watch my fights, I'm even smiling and laughing while I'm fighting. Of course, I'm still trying to do damage, but like I don't. I'm not one of those guys that need to psych myself into fighting somebody. I come in, I know I have a job to do, and I do it. Um, and then I leave it in the cage after that. Before the cage, I'm always shaking hands, with the opponent after the fight. I offer to get a beer or whatever it is, hang out, say what's up. So it always works out pretty good. But inside the cage is strictly business, and we both know that. We know the business we're in. We're in the hurt business. We're
Hmm.
there to win, and we're going to do that by any means possible.
What do you think about kind of like, I guess, that alpha maleness? I guess a great example is the if you remember Ben Wynn with the guy who had all the tattoos on his face,
Yeah,
doing that, whatever that was, Ben Wynn, and okay, like all that, even on, like I've seen like at regional shows where people would just kind of like mouth off or pretend to throw a chair. What do you think about that whole thing? You think is that, yeah? What do you think about that?
that's them. I think it's insecurity if you really think about it. Most fighters or most anybody that's trained extensively or pretty well in fighting doesn't really fight unless they're competing or something of the such like that, you know. So like for me, if you were to meet, well, you know how I am. I'm very friendly, always smiling, laughing, joking. No one would expect that, you know, inside or deep down. I'm a monster. You know, I could throw fists. I don't need to prove anything to nobody. Those people that yap their mouths, they're just trying to puff their chest out and prove something. And that's, you know, if that's their way, a real a real warrior, so to speak, will handle it if it ever came to that. And then that's when they'll realize everyone thinks they can fight until they fight someone that actually knows how to fight. So
Mhm. So at this point in your career, you've had about over a dozen pro fights, if I'm correct, right? Something
yep.
along those lines. Do you still get nervous when that cage door closes and you hear the bell and you hear the referee goes fight, or nope, you just like you said, it's business.
Not at all. Like I used to, don't get me wrong. I think I've gotten so comfortable in there now that and this is also probably why I feel like I'm just now clicking really well with my fight style because I'm more comfortable now. I'm okay with being closer to getting hit and stuff like that. Before the fight, yeah, you know, every now and then you get these worries or you get the little feeling in your stomach, you know what I'm saying? But um once I'm actually in the backstage area, I have no fear, no worry. I'm mostly sleeping back there until it's my time to fight. And then I get in and then I do what I do.
Oh, actually, I was gonna be one of my other questions. Do you have like a pre-fight routine that you do? I know some people listen to music, some people meditate, some people pray.
I do have a homie right now that's very churchy from one of our gyms, my other gym I go to, and he likes to do like a group prayer or a prayer for you right before you come in. I kind of like that. I mean, I myself am not super religious, but I don't knock anybody else's religion. And if somebody wants to give me, you know, wish me well, you know, pray for me, go for it. You know, I'll take any superstition, whatever it is you want to throw at me, good luck wise, I'll take it. You know, I don't have any particular thing that I do. I like I said, I'm back there, and normally, yeah, I listen to music or I just sleep. I try not to let my nerves get to me. I stay really calm and until it's time for me not to be calm.
And so you went if you beat Lee, you become the Throne super lightweight. What was it, welterweight or lightweight? I already forgot.
It's super lightweight,
Okay, super
which is
lightweight
the
champ.
165, right?
Yeah. What do you want to take this farther? Do you want to start, try to hunt for, another chance at LFA or another big regional, or maybe, I don't know, Bellator's coming back here, but if they ever needed somebody for their shows?
I mean, if the opportunities pop up, I'm not really searching for it. I have my hands full outside of MMA. You know, I'm a single parent, take care of my daughter, I work full time. Like I'm being an adult, so fighting has kind of been a hobby for me. I never really wanted to be that big in fighting. I just wanted to be good at it or at least somewhat renowned or some kind of known about it, like again the world's most dangerous man or something like that, you know. um Also, I'll be 44 by the time this fight actually hits. My birthday is the like 2 days before this fight, so I don't know if a lot of people are looking at an older aged person, although I don't look or feel or fight that age. So no, I don't really see it going too much farther. I'm pretty okay with doing the circuits around here for another year or two before um maybe before calling it quits. Maybe a couple of belt defenses. Um I definitely want a belt in my repertoire. I had one for amateurs and I need one for pro. So this will be my opportunity here to get that dream out of the way and then go on to the next one.
So for anybody who wants to get into MMA, pro, amateur, what is the best advice that you have for them?
The best advice?
Yeah, like
Um,
if they want to get into it, like as somebody, you started amateurs and then worked your way up to pros and now you're here, like what advice do you have for them?
Stay consistent. don't confine yourself also. I go to, a couple different gyms. I don't just stay with one gym and only learn one gym's teaching. Of course, I have the blessings of the other gyms. I don't want to like disrespect the other gyms or anything, but it's good to have different looks. Take advice. Don't be a hothead or that alpha male thinking just because you learn how to throw a jab, now you can go take on a whole, bar. Um, just be relaxed, and everything comes with time. You're not going to learn everything right away. Like I said, I've got about 10 years in, and I feel like I'm just now getting everything situated and understood on how to move and how to I think I have a weird style, so my style took me a little bit to adjust and a comfort for. So just stick with it and figure it out and learn the basics, learn the proper technique, and then switch that technique to your technique. Make it your own. You don't have to throw everything the way somebody teaches you to. Know how to do it right, but then make it your own. Find your own style. Don't try to copy a lot of other people's.
And so I have only two more questions for you.
Sure.
Second to last question is, if you have any last comment you'd like to make to your opponents or about the fight, the floor is yours, sir.
Nothing towards my opponent. Like I said, it's all respect towards me and him. And I know he's training hard, and I'm really excited to put on a show. And I know he's really excited to come out there. So, I'm never going to badmouth an opponent. I have no animosity towards him. I do expect a really good fight. Um, expect a really good performance from me myself. So, yeah, I don't have anything for him other than, let's do this thing, baby.
And if you got any sponsors or if there's anybody you want to give a shout out to or plug as well, the floor is yours.
Yep. I'm gonna go ahead and give my gyms. I got Progressive Martial Arts that me and you are both part of. Ken Greer and Ken's a really good instructor for striking, and his son Josh is also really good at the ground and also good health. Of course, Combat Cardio Club with Victor Ramirez. That's my main coach out there. Got a bunch of good coaches there too, Butch Highcheck, a lot of other people, and a lot of good talent that's coming out of there. And then Hudson, as we were talking about earlier, it's where I do a lot of my like hot yoga stuff. They have a cold plunge there that's great for my recovery. I'm up there in age, so recovery is a bigger focus than it used to be. And that place is doing great for me, so I want to give them a lot of credit too. Other than that, everyone else that's around here supporting me, you for giving me this opportunity on the show, everyone at PMA that actually trains and spars with me and rolls with me. There's a lot of people that come together behind the scenes to help out a fighter or whatever, an athlete I should say, that don't really get recognition. So I want to say thank you to them.
As well, is there like a code or is there like a link that like people want to buy tickets or watch pay-per-view that like it goes to you or something along those lines?
They cut that code off here as of May 1st.
Oh,
That
okay.
way, yeah, that way everything can actually get, paid out, I guess. Use anybody's code if there's any there. I don't mind myself. Use my buddy Thomas Derricks. He's an amateur. He needs money if there is a code. So he's on the fight card. My other gym has about six people on the card. PMA has three, which is including me. So I mean, anybody. I'm just here to fight, guys. Like I said, this is a hobby. I don't expect to get $1 million, thousands and thousands of dollars. I'm trying to be my best, look my best, and do my best, and that's all I can do.
And you can check out Andreas Murray taking on Lee Gaudet at the Throne MMA show at the Alerus Center. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought here. At the Alerus Center, Saturday, May 18th, 8 p.m. Wait, no, that's Eastern Standard Time. That'd be so that's 7 p.m. Is it 7
Yep.
p.m. for us?
Starts at 7. Yep.
7 p.m. for us. 8 p.m. on the East Coast. Pay-per-view and tickets are still available. So again, thank you so much, Ray. I really appreciate this, and I'm really looking forward to the fight. And I hope you bring it.
Oh, I will, baby. Thank you again. Have a wonderful day, boss.